What do you expect them to bring tonight?
Well, as I told the players, it's a mirror image of Calgary. It's, a coach that's not that far removed from the team, and that team plays the same way. They put high pressure on you. They pinch their defensemen. They activate their defensemen. They got great mobility on the back end, and they use it. I think the one difference offensively is that Carolina promotes that their defensemen go in and stay in. So you're defending more numbers than you have normally. So you're always looking at 4 players inside the top of the circles and not 3. So to me, they just try to make you make errors in your own end of the rink or on your side of the red line and force you on your heels. And when they're on top of their game, and that's why their shot totals are so high, their shots for totals are so high, because they full court press you and they put a lot of pressure on you.
You still go with the same lineup you had last night, Ken, or you making any tweaks?
We haven't really made our mind up. We've got a couple guys that are going to work through the day injury-wise, so you're going to see 23 in the warm-up, and then we'll evaluate it from there. But we'll get a full lineup of as many guys as we can put on the ice, and then see how a couple, 3 guys feel. As of last night, we were going to make changes based on injuries, and then they came back today and they felt a lot better, so we'll see.
When you looked at Connor today, if you saw him, what you kind of thought of just his face sort of telling the story of what kind of a night it was, for him when it comes to the attention that he's always got and kind of continues to get?
I loved his game. I loved the way he played. I loved the way he competed. He gave it back to people. He gave it to people. He got it. He fought through things. I really liked the way he played. And, he whacked that guy that whacked him, and he whacked him hard, and then he got it, and he just played right through everything. I liked the fact that he played through a lot of tough stuff, and we got our licks in. It's a different player, their top player, but we got our licks in there too, and he fought also. So both players knew what was at stake, and they both fought hard. But I really liked what Connor tried to drag out of our hockey club yesterday. It was very impressive.
He chooses to deal with the refs in person on the ice and to have his conversations there, not be someone that'll stand in front of us and do a lot of complaining. In your experience, is that a smart way for a star player to go versus being more vocal like Mario might have done way back in the day?
Yeah, I think each guy's, sometimes I don't think it's being vocal. I think if we feel there's an injustice, it's on us to point it out. I think some players work the game a little bit differently. Some guys are going to the ref and pointing out things. We had both officials talk to us yesterday and say they missed a call on them, and that was good on them. It was very professional. But at the end of the day, it's, as a good player, you got to fight through stuff, and then also it's on us to make sure that he's protected, and that if we feel there's an absolute attempt to injure, then we have to take matters into our own hands. We can't expect the league to cover that part. That's on his teammates, and that's on the coaching staff, and we do that. And there's a mechanism, a trigger mechanism that's in place to recognize that. But hard play is hard play, and it was hard play yesterday on both sides, on top players, and quite frankly, both top players answered the bell.
Ken, I wanted to ask you about Kyle Brodziak, and I thought he had one of his more effective games last night. Just what have you seen out of him? What do you like him, and what does it need to improve on a little bit?
I thought yesterday he skated well, and I think when he doesn't think and just plays, he's a good player. So when he's got his tempo up and he's just competing, he's very effective. I think when he gets thinking, there's a lot of hesitation and there's a lot of non-skating in his game. And he recognizes that. We talked about it a couple of days ago about getting back to what he was, and when he's tenacious, he can play through people and he can score, and he's obviously very effective as a penalty-killing guy. But to me, he skated well yesterday. He was hard on pucks. He was a little bit reckless, and that's his game. And when he plays like that, he can actually play in the 3-hole, not just the 4-hole.
Ken, can you speak to the growing pains of Caleb Jones on defense?
Yeah. It's like anything else when you're teaching younger players. No matter what you tell them, no matter what you talk about, they got to go through the walls. And he's learning hard lessons on changes, which he got caught on yesterday, on turnovers, which happened in the game, and the emotion of a high-stakes hockey game like last night was, and he's learning those lessons, and he's having to go through those walls, and no matter how much we talk about him, he's going to have to gain that experience by doing that stuff, and he's going to be a better player because of it. But it's also on us. The easy thing with younger players like that would be to sit them out and not play them, and we prefer to go the other way. We're gonna hammer through the same way we did with Jesse. We knew he was really down on energy, and we had to fight through to help him. And he rebounded nicely yesterday, and hopefully he can continue to grow. And we're going to do the same thing with Caleb. We see the end game with these good players, and we want to try to help them get there.
You talked about the fans in Edmonton going sort of from one extreme to the other, with the win one, lose one, the stakes being as high as they are. Are the guys in the room riding that same wave, or is it?
No, I don't think so. I think like it's the same 2 points. Like last night was 2 points, and we missed on it, and so tonight's just as important. It's another 2 points. We're 3-2 at home, and we got a chance to have a winning record if we do well in the next 2 games, and we want to have that leading into the break. So we got our work cut out. We got 2 really fast teams coming at us now, but they have weaknesses just like we do, and we got to try to exploit those weaknesses. But it's 2 points. It's those 2 points that matter, and if we got to get them tonight, we got to get them tonight. But we had to rebound today. Last night was very emotional, and to mount the comeback we did and to be pushing forward and to give it back as quick as we did, it was disappointing. But I thought the guys were good today.